Straight ahead on 12 News, school's out, but not for teachers. We'll show you the lessons learned in the Osseo district. Then, we know our weather's wacky, but that can't possibly be snow, could it? We'll explain the falling white phenomenon. But first, concerns about water quality, what local residents want done, and why the fix isn't so easy. 12 News starts right now. Water management officials have been working to improve the quality of West Metro lakes and streams for years.
But a survey finds many people believe more needs to be done. Only about 1/3 believe lakes in the Bassett Creek watershed area are in good or excellent condition. Most think the water is fair, and 12% believe it's poor or very poor. Residents got a chance to air their thoughts at a water summit in Plymouth last night. They're voting with stickers about water problems that are most important to them, whether it's poor water quality, storm runoff, or low lake levels on Medicine Lake.
We're unable to get the boat off the lift, which is there's really not a reason to even have a boat if we can't get it off the lift.
Michael Martin says there seems to be more sediment and lower water quality in the section of Bassett Creek where he lives.
Some of the stormwater ponds in Worth Park have filled in, so that allows more sediment to flow downstream.
Jim Lauer says an unmonitored boat ramp on the west side of Medicine Lake should be closed because it's an open invitation for zebra mussels like these.
Keeping the ramp open is totally unnecessary. It's irresponsible, and I feel it's reckless.
As it works on a new 10-year plan, the Bassett Creek Water Management Commission is trying to prioritize the issues it faces, and there are plenty since it covers a 40-square-mile area from Plymouth to the Mississippi River. Commission members say development is causing more issues than ever.
The hard surfaces that we drive on, our roofs, sidewalks, asphalt for the parking lots, all of that stuff generates a lot more water today, much more quickly than it ever did.
They point to projects like this one, where a stream bank was fixed to prevent erosion, and another that collects polluted water before it flows into Medicine Lake. But these projects are expensive and results take time.
It took us like 60 years for it to get to this point, so I wouldn't be surprised if it took us 50 or 60 years to actually get to some much better water quality.
And just this week, Hennepin County approved a special $1 million tax levy for property owners in the Bassett Creek watershed. It will pay for 3 water quality improvement projects in Golden Valley.
Golden Valley police arrested a Minneapolis man accused of having sex with a vulnerable adult. Corey Gordon is charged with third-degree criminal sexual conduct. He's accused of posing as a personal care attendant at the Courage Center to have sex with a therapy client. That client had a rare brain disease and had the cognitive ability of a 3rd or 4th grader. She also had physical impairments. Gordon first met the victim at the Mall of America, where she and her mother were shopping. He was arrested when the mother spotted him at the Courage Center and began questioning him.
If rainy weather doesn't slow you down this weekend, road construction probably will. There are 2 big projects in the Northwest Metro that are just about to get started. The first is a project that was rain delayed last week. Southbound lanes of Highway 169 between Highway 55 and 77th Avenue will be closed starting tonight. The work will take place over the next 4 weekends, except during the 4th of July weekend. After that, there will be another 4 weekends of work on the northbound lanes. The closures are necessary so MnDOT can rebuild the pavement. Another big project will slow you down on I-694 between Brooklyn Center and Arden Hills. There will be lane closures there starting Sunday evening as crews repair pavement and bridges. And get used to the closures. Work on 694 will last until early November. The school is out, but teachers in the Osseo district are going to summer school.
And they aren't teaching. Instead, they're getting schooled. Sonia Goins explains.
So looking at your handout, we're going to talk about the ABCDs of stuff.
More than 400 teachers in the Osseo School District
The first thing you're going to do
are
is
getting
look
lessons
at
on how to better teach their students.
There are some things you only use once a year.
This session is for teachers who are new to the district.
I'm going to be teaching at Woodland Elementary.
The newbies are getting tips on how to better set up their classrooms
When it comes to teaching,
so students will have a good learning environment.
Little things that, I mean, that you'd walk into the classroom and you think, okay, the whiteboard's up front, students are facing it, but whether it's the color of the walls, where they place the bulletin boards, all those little things kind of come into play.
The 3-day course also included pointers on how to better engage students.
Let them talk. Let them talk to each other, let them teach each other, make sure that they're not sitting and listening, that they actually have to repeat what they're learning and share what they're learning with each other.
The teachers were in class for at least 18 hours. Then they broke down into small groups where they got to share ideas, something they don't get to do during the busy school year.
It's on our own time, or you just teach on the run, basically. But this is giving us 4 full hours of planning and collaboration and teaching each other and sharing. It's wonderful.
These are teachers from Rush Creek Elementary.
First grade teachers.
They're creating lesson plans based on what they just learned at the Summer Institute.
Working through nonfiction.
The goal is to lift literacy standards.
We are going to make basically a 2-week lesson plan using this book to teach the kids about nonfiction facts about pebbles, sand, and silt and rocks.
And while talking out loud can sometimes be a bad thing in class, these teachers say it's a unique way to bring home a point.
pacing.
And they plan on doing a lot of talking out loud.
And as we talk to ourselves, it's a teaching tool for the kids to see, oh, that's what's going on. That's what they mean.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Teachers also learned about diversity and how to develop assessment strategies. This is the 3rd year for the event.
Nearly everywhere you look in the Twin Cities, cottonwood seeds are flying through the air. And some people around the metro area have even had their entire homes covered with the white, fluffy seeds. Experts say female cottonwood trees disperse their seeds as far as 20 miles away. Look at that. It generally begins in late May, but this year's late spring has delayed that to mid-June. And horticulturists say people shouldn't be concerned about the tree's health.
The cotton doesn't cause any allergy. What it does is it makes people mad because every one of these seeds has the possibility to germinate like in 24 hours. If it sets down someplace and it's happy, then you have a treat.
Experts say the flurry of seeds falling lasts about 2 weeks. It's amazing. Stuff is everywhere.
It is, and if you're wearing black, you take it right with you.
Exactly. But coming up, a new entertainment option in New Hope will show you what's opening this weekend.
Then later in sports, the Champlin Park boys lacrosse team aims for a spot in the state final.
But first, listen to this. More rain in the forecast. It'll be the 12th weekend in a row with measurable precipitation.
In Golden Valley, plans call for one restaurant going down to make way for a new one coming up. Culver's wants to build a new restaurant at the site of the former Piazza's restaurant. The old restaurant would be torn down before Culver's builds a new one. The project still needs city council approval, but Culver's hopes to start construction in late July. New Hope Cinema Grill is the only theater in the Northwest Metro where you can get a full meal while you watch a movie.
But if you don't want to do dinner during the show, there's a new place to go after the credits roll. In today's weekend showcase, Renee Bonneau tells us preparations are underway for the grand opening of Outtakes Bar and Grill.
We wanted to go for a sports bar atmosphere, but the twist of a movie theme because of the Cinema Grill being next door.
You could call it a cross between a Hollywood set and a concert venue.
It's kind of an industrial feeling. We wanted more of that back of the lot, back of the set where the crew would go after the movie and kind of hang out.
Under the watchful eye of Marilyn and Audrey, Outtakes Bar and Grill will open its doors this weekend, serving up American fare, drinks, and a different atmosphere. New Hope Cinema Grill offers movies, comedy shows, and food while you watch. But the guys in charge here thought there was still something missing to truly make this a one-stop shop.
We heard almost every comedy night people asking what bars are in the area to go have a cocktail. So we wanted to be able to provide that to them and say, you know what, stay here.
Outtakes is essentially an extension of the Cinema Grill. The two venues will share the same kitchen and staff. The restaurant is a place for people to go even if they don't want to see a show next door.
After hours, bring the adults and they can come here and relax and be your local neighborhood kind of hangout. But during the day, we definitely want to incorporate a family-friendly feeling like Cinema Grill and be part of the community.
They're inviting the community to celebrate the restaurant's grand opening with live bands Friday and Saturday night. You can sample the menu, play some games, and let the staff know if Outtakes makes the cut.
In this area, there aren't a lot of options. I mean, there's a few, but we wanted to create the best one.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Renee Bonneau.
Outtakes Bar and Grill opens its doors today at 5 with the band Sweet Siren playing at 9. The cover band Boogie Wonderland will perform Saturday night at 8:30. Well, coming up, dogs that are more than people's best friends. See how they help with chores around the house.
But first, the Wayzata baseball team battles in consolation play at the state tournament. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
John Jacobson joins us now with a look at sports, and a lot of state tournaments going on right now, including lacrosse.
Yeah, making a little history for one school.
Right, both the boys and the girls team in the tournament for the first time, and Champlin Park 1 for 2 on their boys team. Champlin Park boys lacrosse team won its first ever game in the state lacrosse tournament on Tuesday, defeating Tutino Grays. Well, that pushed the Rebels into the semifinals Thursday. Champlin Park facing Eastview for a spot in the final. The Lightning strike first. The Rebels get 2 quick goals. Gabe Monson setting up Luke Dahl in there. And then Max Turgeon rifles a shot home for a 2-1 Champlin Park lead. But Eastview gets 4 goals in the second quarter. Mitch Beattie with a nice pass to Tanner Hamill for the quick shot and goal. Lightning are up 5-3 at halftime. That lead grows in the third quarter, but Champlin Park does come back. Munson to Dahlman. He whistles a high shot in for a goal. And Cody Schmidt scores with the long stick here, pulling the Rebels within a goal. That's 7-6. But it's all Eastview from there. The Lightning score the next 3 goals and win 10-6. Champlin Park plays White Bear Lake for third place Saturday afternoon. The Rebels girls team didn't get much to cheer about in the state quarterfinals with a lopsided loss to Eden Prairie. They hope for better things, though, in the consolation bracket against Burnsville. Marjorie McNamara fast to the middle, and she scores for Champlin Park. And then it's McNamara with a pass, finding Delaney Everett cutting to the goal. She scores for the Rebels. Bailey Child scores from the free position for Burnsville here. It's 6-6 at halftime and stays close through the second half. Emma Witchow smoking a goal from the free position there for the Blaze. The Rebels answer that one, though. Everett, nice pass to Sarah Leisman for the goal. Champlin Park takes an 8-7 lead. But Burnsville puts together a late run. Lindsay Coleman with a nice drive to the net for a goal. The Blaze win 11-9. Armstrong plays Burnsville for the girls' consolation title Saturday afternoon. Wayzata's baseball team had a no-hitter thrown at them by Logan Shore of Coon Rapids in the state Class 3A quarterfinals Thursday. They hope to get the bats going in the consolation bracket at Siebert Field against Forest Lake this morning. Instead, it's the Rangers getting on the board first. Noah Brown lifts a fly ball just fair down the line and right. Dan Watsman scores, and it's 1-0 Forest Lake after 1. Wayzata mostly plays solid defense, but this one they don't get to. Reed Larson's pop-up brings 3 fielders together in short right, and it bounces off a glove. Kyle Parker scores, and Forest Lake takes a 3-0 lead. Parker shuts the Trojans down for most of the game, but they get back-to-back hits in the 7th inning. Jordan Sell drops one into center field to put 2 runners aboard for Wayzata. And with runners at second and third, Parker comes through, getting Nick Olmanson on the comebacker. Wayzata shut out for the second straight game in the tournament. 3-0 Forest Lake is the final. Well, next week, Jay Wilcox and I will name the best of the best in the area as we present the Sports Jam All-Area Baseball and Fast Pitch Softball teams. Next week is our final Sports Jam of the season with plenty of highlights from state tournament action in baseball, golf, and lacrosse, and the naming of the annual Sports Jam baseball and softball teams. Tune in Monday through Wednesday at 3:30, 8, and 10:30 p.m. here on Channel 12. And that's a look at sports.
Thanks a lot, John.
You're welcome.
Still ahead, dogs that are more than just a companion, they also help with daily tasks.
Service dogs are crucial for people with disabilities. Find out next how you can help teach some young pups how to help others. Coming up.
These guys are what, 8 weeks old?
If you have a heart for animals, a New Hope nonprofit wants to hear from you.
Can Do Canines trains assistance dogs, but as Shannon Slatton reports, right now they need more volunteers to prepare those dogs for service.
They look great. They're just beautiful, beautiful little pups.
These puppies are 8 weeks old.
Every time you see a puppy, you see that potential. It's a wonderful thing to see.
They've just been donated to the nonprofit Can Do Canines.
You never know exactly how they're going to grow up. So much of it depends on the volunteers. If they do a great job, then the puppies grow up wonderfully.
Founder Alan Peters says the waiting list for their assistance dogs keeps growing.
Oh, there's your tummy.
We always have a waiting list for each of the 5 types of dogs, but right now we have very large waiting lists for the diabetes dogs and the autism dogs.
Hi, puppy.
The dogs are provided free of charge to people with disabilities.
Okay, should we keep walking? Come on.
But first, they must be trained.
Good boy.
Volunteers like Haley Broughton start the process.
We're puppy playing, so we're kind of socializing them, getting them used to toys.
Go get them.
The puppies will eventually be taught to help complete everyday tasks like this. Doug, button. Good dog. Doug can pick up money.
Dougie, can you get that for me?
Open cabinets.
Pull it open.
And retrieve the phone.
Get the phone. Bring it to me.
He's been trained at home and in class by volunteer Dee Holleroo.
I take him everywhere with me, get him out in public, and I take him to classes.
Can Do Canines needs more of those at-home volunteers.
We really need people who can take a dog into their home and treat it like it's part of their family, give it good manners, give it some training, and help us prepare that dog so it can one day help somebody else.
After about a year, that dog will graduate to serve a new family.
One of my dogs that I trained ended up being for a child who has autism.
Who has been patiently waiting.
How much more of a blessing is that I can say I helped somebody?
In New Hope, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
This may come as no surprise, but volunteers say sometimes the hardest part is that they get attached to their training dog, but then they hear the stories of how the dog is helping their new owner, and it makes it all worthwhile. If you're interested, we have some contact information for Can Do Canines on our website. Those puppies, pretty cute. You can understand how you might get a little attached.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but a lot of fun maybe to have them around the house for a while.
An important job to get them ready.
You bet.
That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you back here again on Monday.
People seeking medical attention in the northwest suburbs will soon have no shortage of options.
By law, the city has to release their email list under public information, and they're not allowed to ask why the person wants that list.
For people who work, live, and drive on County Road 81, it's a relief to finally see these boarded-up buildings come down.
The salon is also selling items like these candles, where part of the proceeds go for breast cancer research.
McDonald, a shot and a goal.